The Lennox Pulse Furnace. Alright, well there is the beast. It's kind of heavy. It's pretty well engineered though, that's all I'd have to say. But it's probably about, I don't know, 50 pounds or maybe a little heavier. But, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So here's the combustion chamber. I mean, that's cast iron. And, so here's your intake. This is the flapper valve here. So the flapper valve is basically a check valve. And it has a, inside of here, there's a fiberglass sheet that is basically stops the air from coming back out once it fires in there. So here's the flapper valve taken apart. So here's the top part. This just kind of keeps the flapper from kind of falling off and getting stuck in there. And then, so it seals against this outer part here. It seals against here. And as you can see, it's just a piece of fiberglass, basically. So, and then here's a washer, which is very important. This keeps it from squishing that. So there's a little bit of room for it to basically move back and forth there. And I believe if you have a different BTU of furnace, you would replace that washer with a different size, different thickness to let more or less air in. So that goes in there, and that's your air intake. And then in the box here, that's your Purge Blower, which basically gets the air moving through there. I think it can sustain combustion without the blower, though, because some people on YouTube, I saw somebody they basically took the cover off, and it still ran fine, so I might try that. So I might not even need to put this on, just to get some air flowing in there, and it might work fine without the blower. And then here's your natural gas feed in, so your gas valve, which might actually be variable. I'm not entirely sure on that. And then this is a hollow canister here because it consumes pulses of gas, so that would be very hard on the regulator to constantly be letting more and less volume in, so this kind of smooths it out, the pressure differences. And then you have another check valve in here so that when it explodes, the gas in here, it doesn't push back into the natural gas feed. And then here you have your spark plug, which is basically a normal spark plug, except I think the gap is a lot larger on it. And then here's your flame sensor, which I believe is a thermocouple, but I'm not entirely sure. It might not be. It might just sense the resistance or something. But so yeah, it's a big combustion chamber, very heavy duty, and this pipe is very heavy duty as well. And then this, some kind of an expansion chamber or something here. I'm not really sure what that is. And this looks like a big muffler. So it's really thick steel, though. It's, I don't know, pretty heavy duty stuff though. And then here's where that comes out, the exhaust gases after it went through the muffler, and then it splits off here to go through the radiator to get rid of the rest of the heat. So, and then there's the manifold down there to collect it back up, which actually looks like stainless steel, because it's not rusty at all. Which I guess it would have to be down here, especially because a lot of condensate would come out of here, and I think that natural gas condensate, some of the carbon dioxide might get dissolved into the water and turn into something acid, but carbonic acid or something like that. But it's pretty well engineered. Alright, well, I've got it all hooked up, and it actually works, so pretty cool. It's pretty much hooked up per the schematic on here, except for, well, it's missing all the safety features and everything like that, but we don't need those. It works fine without them. So we've got the igniter here, which also has the flame sensor, and then this is there's a little, like, I guess this is basically a little flyback under here. So I've got it hooked up to the transformer here, 24 volts, and here's the gas valve, and I've got much too small of a line, so it doesn't run continuously. It kind of pulses. It's really inconsistent, but that's because I have much too small of a gas line. But I'm surprised it even works off that. And then here's the blower. So it's all hooked up how it's supposed to be. Well, somewhat. So here we go. So it actually runs without the blower. It doesn't even need that to start as long as there's oxygen in there. But we'll use the blower anyway. just to get some oxygen in there for a minute, and then should start here in a minute. It takes a little bit for it to, so first it turns on the blower for a while to make sure there's enough oxygen in there. Then it starts the igniter, which you'll hear in a minute here, and then it opens the gas valve, and then it starts firing. There we go. There's some condensate coming out. And then it starts the procedure over again, and I think it does it 3 times before it shuts down and stays off. So yeah, it kind of, it's really inconsistent because there's just not enough natural gas getting through this little tiny pipe. But, so, I kind of wanted to get it, like, glowing red hot, but I don't think that's going to happen with that little pipe. So, oh well. But, it does work, so it's pretty cool. But, maybe I should try bypassing this totally and just, yeah. I wonder if I could figure out how to, because the sensor is giving feedback, not that there's no, or the flame is inconsistent, so it shuts off and tries again. So I wonder if I can get rid of that somehow, short it out or something. We'll see. I'll measure across that and see what the voltage is. And alright, well now I've bypassed all the circuitry. So here's the circuit board from the basically the control. So it's some sort of little flyback kind of transformer on there, or kind of like a magneto in a car, or whatever you call this. So yeah, it's some relays and stuff on there. But so I kind of bypassed it. I'm using a flyback now, and I'm driving that with my ZVS driver. Well, not really. I'm just using the MOSFETs on there, and then I have a 5.5 timer here driving it at about, I don't know, around 60 hertz or something like that. And then this is just a regulator, just so that it doesn't draw too much power from the battery. So you might be able to hear it. That's the arc, you can hear it. I think it's a lot higher frequency than 60 hertz, but it works fine. So the arc, or it doesn't really matter how often the arc, how often the spark fires. It goes by when there's like enough, when there's actually combustible mixture in there. So when there's enough air and gas in there, then it'll light. So you don't really need a certain frequency. So then here we have just the power goes to the transformer, which goes to the gas valve. So let's open it, and then we also need to get some air in there. And there we go. Choke it off a little bit. It's nice and hot now. Alright, well that's about it guys. So that's the furnace. Thanks for watching and keep experimenting.